Hey there, my fellow Indians, welcome to News Hamster. I would just like to say that I'm really jealous of my future generation because of the kind of education system they're going to experience. Yes, the National Education Policy 2020 has come out, the Union Cabinet has given the nod for the National Education Policy, and I must say it has brought out some revolutionary and phenomenal changes in the Indian education system. It has also brought out multiple options for the students to experience better education and learning, both at school level, also at the higher education level. But what's problematic here is how several people are pointing out the problems with the National Education Policy. There is a hashtag that's running on Twitter, it's called RejectNEP 2020, where they are pointing out several problems that this policy poses for the education of the country and the country itself. Well, in next 5 to 6 minutes, let's analyze these problems and let's try to understand if they are actually problems or they are just a majak. So does this policy impose Hindi or mother tongue? Let's be clear here, this policy does not speak anywhere about imposition of Hindi, but the policy says that we have to impart education, or the medium of instruction for education should preferably be the mother tongue. So whichever state you are in, that's your mother tongue. And this medium of instruction should be from class 5 to class 8, preferably to class 8. Now the problem here is that we live in a multicultural, multi-ethnic and a plural society. Let me give you an example. So there's a Gujarati kid who moves to Karnataka for domestic reasons, say in class 3 or 4. Now how will he cope up with learning Kannada? He's coming all the way from Gujarat. So this is another problem that is posed, and also we are not sure, the policy does not clearly talk about how English will be treated. Will it be completely scraped off? Will it be a part of the system? Will it be taught since first standard as well? Or if the English is completely scraped off, how will the child learn English from whichever class it's being taught onwards? Because that also should be a basic part of the education, because English provides us a common ground to converse, to know each other, or also to develop new skills which are available to us in English language. Another question arose that if this policy promotes child labor. Okay, it was very hilarious when I read it, because that's not what the policy is talking about. The policy is talking about vocational education. Gandhiji emphasized on the fact that the education should not only be limited to textbooks or notebooks. The child should also get some skills as he learns and as he develops himself. So this policy does just that. It speaks about internships to students from class 5 to class 6 or whichever other classes, where they will be taught several skills, for example carpentry, for painting, or coding, or so on and so forth. These are the skills that school is trying to imbibe in the children. Okay, let's understand the fact that how are these going to be provided. It's not like us for college students who we go out and seek internships in several organizations. These internships, these skills should be provided in the school itself, where they will be a part of the curriculum and they will be taught how to do carpentry, how to do electrician work, how to do plumbing, how to do coding, so on and so forth. Child labor is when a child goes to a shop and says, "Uncle, mere ko kaam seekhna hai," and then that uncle employs the child and pays him. This is not what the policy talks about. So let's understand the difference between school internships that National Education Policy 2020 speaks about and what is child labor. The idea of financial autonomy for the private educational institutions was mooted. Now this means further commercialization of education, further privatization of education. Well, when we are moving towards concepts like universal free education, universal free healthcare, then why are we giving the leeway to the private institutions to charge fees according to their whims and fancies? Now this thing was the major problem, and we have to understand the fact that today education is a business for the private institutions, but we also have to note that the lives of young people is not a business. And the policy also talks about the Higher Education Commission of India that will be established, and that will take care of all the regulation monitoring of all the higher education institutions. Now this moves centralization of all these things. So this was another problem that was pointed out, and we will see when the policy is being implemented how these things will pan out and how subtly the government will be able to balance these problems. Lastly is the implementation hurdles. See, several things have been brought out by several governments. They were great ideas, but they tend to flop, or they tend to crash, or they fail in execution. Let's hope that this National Education Policy does not fail in execution, and what's written on paper is precisely what's copied, because this education system is one of the best in the world, and when a child is encouraged to learn what he feels like learning, and he has multiple exit options and he can just enjoy his education, I think this is the best idea anyone can put forth. And also a very important criticism that the policy faced is that the policy missed, or this policy just jumped off all the deliberations or discussion that was supposed to be scrutinized with. Basically, Parliament में कोई discussion नहीं हुआ था, debate नहीं हुआ था with regards to how this policy came forward or how this will be implemented. This is another criticism. Alright, hope you guys understood what are the actual problems and what are the actual criticisms and what are not. And make sure you like the video and of course share the video to as many people as possible so that the criticisms are understood and the criticisms don't just exist because of ideological differences. And 1 minute, I have to show you something very important.
The parking problem in India continues to be a social menace, despite the government and communal efforts. Parking space feud results in various problems that source rage in people. With an objective to mitigate this issue, Mil Jayega has developed the first of its kind smart vehicle sticker. Here's how it works. Scan the QR code using any smartphone camera or scanner app. Lock the QR code with your details and simply stick it to your car. Well, here's the magical part. The same QR code, when next scanned, will reflect your details, which means the sticker becomes your virtual parking assistant. Anyone who needs your vehicle moved can simply scan and reach you via encrypted calls, implying that your phone number is not shared. In case of an emergency, people can swiftly reach your emergency contact when you cannot. And not just this, it also shows your blood group details, making way for immediate care. So get your very own virtual parking assistant, the Smart Vehicle Sticker, to become a smart, considerate, and prudent citizen.
Okay guys, so if you want to avail this product, you can click on the link in the description box. You can put a coupon code, it's NewsHamster20, and you will get 20% discount on this sticker. So in a pack there are 2 stickers, so go get it and enjoy hassle-free parking. And that's it from News Hamster. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, talk to me in the comment section. Let's discuss about the national education policy, and until next time, Jai Hind.